What is happening, peeps? Welcome to a new review video. So this time we're looking into Infinite, the newest flick from Antoine Fuqua, directed by Antoine Fuqua and starring Mark Wahlberg and Chiwetel Ejiofor. And as usual, this review will be spoiler filled. So, Infinite. Basically Fast and Furious meets Wanted. Cool car chases, crazy over-the-top stunts that make you go bruh, and the fraternity that is basically doing something good for mankind, and they're looking for their long-lost and most important member because he's the key to solving their dilemma to be their villain, who also used to be a member of said fraternity before he defected. Also, that long-lost member used to think that he had mental issues all his life and used to take prescription pills for them, until later on he finds out that those mental issues are actually his powers that he needed to unlock because he was suppressing them all his life. I mean, you might as well cast James McAvoy in this one. Also, this is the second time where Chiwetel Ejiofor plays a member of a fraternity or secret group and eventually goes rogue and becomes the bad guy. Remember Doctor Strange? So this one is directed by Antoine Fuqua, who gave us some fantastic movies before, like both Equalizer films, The Magnificent Seven, Olympus Has Fallen, and Brooklyn's Finest. All of these were movies that I've enjoyed to the fullest, and I really loved the performances of all the actors in them, and the cinematography and everything about those movies was just spectacular. So the story is basically about reincarnation, and it's talking about this world where there's a group of people who have this ability to reincarnate and remember all of their past lives. And so these people are divided into two groups. One group call themselves the Believers, who believe that this ability to remember all of their past life is a superpower and they need to use that to further develop and improve humanity. And then there's the other group called the Nihilists, led by Bathurst. And Bathurst is basically sick and tired of being reincarnated over and over and living and remembering all of his past life. And he just wants this whole reincarnation thing to end, and that's why he develops a weapon that basically wipes out all of mankind. Because if you basically kill everyone on Earth, no one will be able to incarnate to another life after that. So first thing I have to say for this movie, in terms of entertainment, it's awesome. You will love it and enjoy it so much. But to enjoy it fully, you have to shut your brain from any kind of sensible thinking. This movie does not acknowledge any laws of physics whatsoever. The premise of the movie was really good. It was very interesting, even though it was familiar, but it could have been produced into something powerful. But then the story felt very neglected. It was very weak. Everything just seemed like it was cramped together in the end just to produce something and get it over with. There were some obvious questions that were unanswered, some even, I would say, flat out dumb things that didn't make sense. I'm not just talking about the over-the-top action. That was okay. I mean, in the end, it was watchable. But there was a lot of things in the end that just kept me thinking, what the hell was that? What's going on here? Like the scene we see from the beginning when Daniel O'Brien was driving the car and he was about to jump off with it, and he just did this thing with his hand, and there was like kind of, I don't know, blurry thing, or there was something there appearing, but it didn't show really what it was. You know, it was just something that was there. And then we saw it again when Mark Wahlberg jumped on the plane and he was trying to hold himself there, like using the sword, and then in the end he just found that same power that he had before in his previous life and basically was able to stand on the wing of the plane, and that was it. I mean, there was no explanation to what kind of power is that, what does it do, what is it that he's capable of. And the dumbest thing about this, and I'm sure everyone who saw the movie noticed it, since Bathurst wants to stop reincarnation altogether because he's sick and tired of it, and he created a weapon, the Dethroner, that basically kills people and traps their soul in a chip to prevent them from reincarnated again to another life. I just kept asking, like, why in the name of common sense would he not just use the weapon on himself instead of going through lifetimes of trouble just to wipe out all life on Earth? And he emphasized himself how this is real torture, as he said in the movie. Why not aim the Dethroner at your own self, shoot yourself in the head, and basically enjoy being dead forever? This really ruined most of the plot for me, to be honest, because as I said, it started off decent and it could have been produced something much better if they had just put a little bit more effort on the story itself and putting a little bit more explanation, so you wouldn't have these kind of plot holes or these unanswered questions or these aspects that just don't make sense, because anyone who watches the movie would definitely notice these. And also having a little bit of backstory, at least for the protagonist and antagonist, because the way we were introduced to them, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy, and that's all you have it. And there's the action going on, and just enjoy the movie. And to be fair, on the other hand, it had some really good visuals and action scenes, especially the car chases. They were energetic, even though over the top, but it was still a thrill watching them. And the fighting and choreography was outstanding. Story-wise, however, and the sequence of events was all quite cliche and made the movie forgettable in the end. And also the coolest and most hilarious scene though was when the guy in the first scene used the car tire to throw a brick back at the police cars chasing him. That was another level of gangster, really. I have never seen something crazier than that. But then again, the sky's the limit for movie makers these days, so they can come up with all kinds of crazy things. And to be honest, it was hilarious, but I liked it. It was enjoyable. That first scene, it was really good. And also because I really like Mark Wahlberg and Chiwetel Ejiofor's movies. They're always great and charismatic in them, especially Chiwetel, because he always brings out this powerful performance in every movie he's in. But this one really wasn't on their level. Action, yes. Story-wise, no. And another aspect as well, to be honest, even though I like or prefer Mark Wahlberg mostly, but in this film at some point I felt that Dylan O'Brien would have been a better choice as a protagonist to continue with the movie instead of just killing him off and then replacing him with Mark Wahlberg. I don't know, I felt like Dylan O'Brien put a little bit more emotion, a little bit more character for this movie, because I felt like Mark Wahlberg was just being Mark Wahlberg. There was nothing really new here. He was just doing the same persona from a different movie and applying it on this movie as well. So I wanted to give this one in the beginning 2.5 out of 5 because of the weak plot and lack of common sense. But because the action and visuals and the thrill in them were really good, I would give it 3. So yeah, I would say this is the weakest movie for Antoine Fuqua that I have seen. But I wouldn't go all the way to say that it was bad. It's not. It's enjoyable for entertainment. You would enjoy it, just like, watching some cool car scenes, seeing some explosions, some fight scenes with guns and with swords and with, martial arts and all of that. It was good. And yeah, so this was my review for Infinite, the latest flick from Antoine Fuqua. So let me guys know if you guys liked the movie, if you didn't like it, what part did you enjoy the most, what part did you enjoy the least, or just flat out hated. And if there's any more points that you wanted to add or thoughts that you wanted to share, or you want to discuss some of the points that I mentioned here, please drop them in the comments below. I would very much love to hear your opinions on this. And until I see you guys in the next video, thank you very much for watching. Have a splendid day and peace out.